Certainly. And let me get in Anand Ranganathan. Anand Ranganathan, Sanjay Jha says, murder of democracy said by the Supreme Court. ये तो पहली बार कहा गया है. Agreed that particular episode is rather embarrassing for the BJP, and it was struck down rightly by the Supreme Court, and we all stand corrected in the democracy that such brazenness cannot go on. But the Congress party, इनके बारे में murder of democracy कभी नहीं कहा गया है.
Meant for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Navika, please let me make it very clear. I watched the proceedings. I was present there.
Yeah, true, but the Supreme Court struck it down.
It wasn't meant for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
Yeah, so rightly so. We welcome the judgment, rightly so.
Okay. All
But
right.
it wasn't an indictment of the BJP, please.
Gaurav ji,
Okay, it was an indictment
the facts
for
right.
the electoral officer who was certainly not encouraged by the BJP. If you want everybody to believe that,
Turning over.
well,
Yes.
the form can be correct, but let's Gaurav Bhatia, at least not stand on pretenses here. But Anand Ranganathan, murder of democracy has never happened in Congress's time.
We welcome the judgment of the Supreme Court. Did you hear a word
Emergency.
against the Supreme Court judgment, Navika?
Okay, Gaurav. I've noted your point, and our viewers have noted the point. I said it was embarrassing, and it was truly embarrassing. You're not embarrassed about it. It had nothing to do with you. It's a stand you're most welcome to take. But I'm saying that it was an embarrassing election of the mayor that happened. But when Sanjay Jha says that murder of democracy happened only because of this verdict of the Supreme Court against what he says is an indictment of the BJP, Congress has always come out, squeaky white and clean from Supreme Court and other courts of the country. Anand Ranganathan, वो दिख नहीं रहा है संजय झा को. Can you please enlighten our viewers about that?
couple of points here, नाविका. पहले तो एक जमाना था जब कभी-कभी मैं शुरू में सबसे पहले आप बुलाती थी बोलने के लिए तो सिर्फ मुद्दे पे बोलता था. अब जब आधे घंटे बाद टर्न आती है तो लोगों की हिपोक्रेसी भी एक्सपोज करनी पड़ती है, और आपके फेवरेट संजय झा जी हैं, उनकी हिपोक्रेसी जो सबसे पहले बोलते हैं, तो मैं 2-3-30 सेकंड ले लूं उनकी हिपोक्रेसी एक्सपोज करने में. नंबर 1, when he talks about electoral bonds as a slap on democracy, anonymity of it, he doesn't disclose that the Congress had 10% of its funding through the same anonymous electoral bond. So who's been hypocritical there? Number 2, when he talks about the election commission and the elections to that being, shamelessly an affront to democracy, he doesn't disclose that for de facto for 70 years, under the Congress regime, the chief election commissioner and the election commissioners were chosen by the Prime Minister of India. This is not just me saying it. It is the ex-chief election commissioner, Mr. Qureshi, no friend of Mr. Modi, who said it just 2-3 days ago. The fact of the matter is, even I have said that, yes, the Supreme Court Chief Justice should have been one of the parties in addition to the Prime Minister and the Leader of Opposition, but be that as it may, how is the current disposition for choosing the CEC any worse than what the Congress used to do? Remember, they chose Mr. Naveen Chawla as one of the CEC who was indicted by the Shah Commission for excesses in the emergency. And you just named a couple of other CECs who were severely tainted. Number 2. Number 3. To extrapolate what happened in a mayoral election in Chandigarh, which had a ballot, not an electronic voting machine, to extrapolate it to 700 million Indians voting for the general elections and 300 million Indians again voting for the state election, and saying that the democracy has died, is typical Congress. So now that I have exposed this, can I please come back to the issue? Navika, I'll be very honest with you. My mind isn't completely made up, because there are pros and cons about this one election and holding the state and the general in one place. The advantages you have stated yourself. Saving money, for example, 60,000 crores is spent only on the Lok Sabha election, and the state election combined maybe the same amount. So in excess of 1 lakh crores we spend on elections. Now all that administrative capabilities that are used are to be used only once. Distinct advantages versus them being used continuously 5 years round. So yes. What are the cons? Now, IDFC Institute conducted a survey, and the results were very interesting. What they found, in combination with Niti Aayog, by the way, what they found out was that 80% of the cases, the respondents said that they would vote for the same party at the state at which they have voted for the national. And by the way, let me tell you, even out here, for Congress to opt out of this commission that is looking at one election all year round, general and state, for 20 years under the Congress until 1968, the elections were held simultaneously. In 1983, the Election Commission under the Congress regime recommended this. In 1998 was recommended, as Gaurav correctly said. So the point of the matter is, one can wear it both ways. I am now, I have to say, tilting towards having simultaneous elections, but it is also a fact that we are a very emotional people. If there is one mudda that comes along that is a national level, it may actually skew things heavily in the favor of the state elections, also people choosing what they have chosen at the national level. So there are pros, there are cons, but I am tilting towards having simultaneous elections.